Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Shukri bin Hussein. My matric number is 10JL20F1003. Today, I will present to you about internal gear pump. Okay, firstly, I will introduce about gear pump. Gear pump is one type of positive displacement rotary pump. In a gear pump, a fluid moves by enclosing a feed volume, a fluid using the interlocking gears and then transferring it as the gears rotates. This pump delivers a pull-free flow that is directly proportional to the rotational speed of the gears. The gears pump is mainly used for developing high pressure. Point number 2, the gear pump is a positive displacement pump and is also a feed displacement pump. Positive displacement pump means that this pump provides a constant flow at a feed speed regardless of the change in pressure, and a feed displacement pump means that it ejects a feed quantity of fluid per revolution of the shaft. The gear pump was invented by Johannes Kepler around 1600. Point number 3, in a gear pump, there are generally two gears. One gear is the driver gears of the power gears, and the others of its driven or the idler gears. The driver gear is connected to some prime movers or any mechanical energy source. The driver gears is also known as master gears, and the driven gears is also known as leaf gears. The driver gears is either rotate by using an electric motor or by using an IC engine or by using a hand. Okay, next slide. I will present to you about components of a gear pump and function component of gear pump. Okay, this is a component of a gear pump. We have driver gears. Secondly, we have driver shaft. Thirdly, we have casing. Fourthly, we have driven gears or idler gears. Fourthly, we have inlet. It is low pressure fluid. And fifthly, we have outlet. It is high pressure fluid. And function component of gear pump. Point number 1, driver gears. Driver gear is connected to the prime mover. It rotates using the power from the prime mover. Point number 2, driven gears or idler gears. The driver gears is in mesh with the drive gears and rotates as the driver gear rotates. Point number 3, casing. Both the driver gears and the driver gears are packed inside the casing of the gear pump. Point number 4, inlet section or suction side. It is the section in the gear pump through which fluid enters the gear pump. Low pressure liquid enters the pump from the inlet section. Point number 5, we have outlet section or discharge side. It is the section in the gear pump through which pressure fluid is driven to the required area. High pressure liquid flow out from the pump from the outlet section. Point number 6 is prime mover. In the gear pump, the prime mover is used to provide power to the shaft in which the driver gears in mount. It can be an electric motor or an IC engine, or it can be manual labor. Point number 7, safety valve or release valve. A safety valve or release valve is installed on the discharge side so that excess pressure is generated. It can be released. The pump can be prevented from getting damaged. Okay, after that, I will present to you about operating principle of gears pump. At starting, the gears pump is started by providing power to the driving shaft, and the driving gear starts to rotate using the power from the prime mover. Point number 2, the driver gears which is in mesh with the driver gears also rotates as the driver gears rotates but in opposite direction. Point number 3, as both the gears start rotating, a partial vacuum is created on the suction side. As the vacuum is created, the liquid in the suction side gets sucked toward the gears. After that, the sucked liquid gets trapped between the gears and the casing. Point number 4, then the trapped liquid between the casing and the gear tips travels along with the rotation of gear tips and moves from the suction side toward the discharge side. Similarly, the liquid flow from the suction side to the discharge side in the inlet gears also, and high pressure liquid leave the pump from the discharge side. Point number 5, the liquid from the suction side cannot move directly to the discharge side and also from the suction side to the discharge side because the two gears are completely engaged and there is no gap for the liquid to flow. Okay, not to forget also, in the gear pump, there are many types of the gear pump. For example, number 1, we have internal gear pump. Secondly, we have lobe pump. Thirdly, we have screw pump. Fourthly, we have internal gear pump. And lastly, we have G-rotor pump, general auto pump. Okay, for your information, I will take one type of pump to present. The type of pump I will present is internal pump. In an internal gear pump, the gear pump used to pump fluid has internal machine. Point number 2, in the internal gear pump, the inner gear is the smaller one, has internal teeth, and the outer gear is the biggest gear and has internal teeth. Point number 3, between the two gears of the internal gear pump, a crescent seal is provided which fills the gap between the two gears. Finally, point number 4, as the teeth of the inner gear come out of mesh with the outer gears, and a partial vacuum is created due to which the fluid enters the gap between the crescent seal and the inner gears. After that, the fluid is trapped between the inner gears and crescent seal and travels from the inlet to the outlet of the internal gear pump. Okay, then for the next slide, I will discuss about the advantage and disadvantage of gear pump. For the advantage of gear pump, point number 1, these pumps are very simple and compact with very few numbers of moving parts. The maintenance cost of this type of pump is very low. Point number 3, it has a low cost. Point number 4, gear pump can be used for generating very high pressure up to 3000 psi. Point number 5, it can be used to pump highly viscous fluid like oil, which cannot be pumped using centrifugal pumps. Point number 6, there are a very low chance of leaking while pump high viscous liquid like oil in the gear pump. Hence, the efficiency of this pump increase when pumped highly viscous liquids. Point number 7, gear pump can run in both directions. Hence, a single pump can be used for both loading and unloading purpose. Point number 8, this pump is very less sensitive to contamination. For disadvantage of gear pump, as machine gears are used, abrasive fluid cannot be used in the gear pump. Point number 2, these pumps are very noisy. Point number 3, the size of gear pump is limited, so it can be used for large bulk flow rates. Okay, finally, the conclusion found in the gear pump is, in conclusion, upon dissection, it has been discovered that the suction force created by the machine gears are responsible for the flow of the fluid through the pump. This flow of fluid creates a positive and non-pulsating displacement, which make this pump ideal for use in lubrication application. Okay, thank you.